Aloha hoku ohana. Thank you guys so much for joining me here for your reading. This is a very interesting read. It's basically all about your true self, not being an identity, not even being this physical vessel, but you originate from plasma, crafted by the Elohims, incarnated into this physical vessel, right? You are your higher self that has incarnated into this physical vessel to come and engage with the third dimensional realm. And there's something about your acting and serving as a mirror in this realm, and you're mirroring an example. You're mirroring a different way of operating in this realm, not based off of fear, but based off of love, okay? And you're realizing there only is an illusion of separation between where it is that you are and what it is that you want, okay? And as soon as you kind of awaken to that, it begins to collapse time, and your frequency begins to inform matter via the truth and consciousness that you've anchored into your vessel, where reality reconfigures itself to correspond with this internal knowing that you've come back to. So prolonged embodiment in this physical vessel, when you had incarnated into this realm, left you at risk of forgetting your etheric origins, but you are awareness that has become conscious of itself. And the message that has kept coming through was Ida and Pingala, which is like the masculine and feminine principles, which brings you to a Theocus Christ consciousness energy. So you're like an outsider that's looking in. You may be in this realm, but you're not of this realm. And I'm also hearing you have this strong correspondence to other dimensional frequencies, right? And you're able to anchor that information in the third dimensional realm and act upon that, and you have trust in the illusion of there being a lag time where you're witnessing right now the becoming of what has already came to be, and everybody else is also witnessing that. I'm seeing people like, you know, question your becoming stage, but for you, you already know that something has already came to be, and others are going to witness that, and you're serving again as that mirror of what could be possible in this realm. Anyway, you're able to kind of work with that polarity and that contrast in this realm. And because of that lag time, you're realizing again there is an illusion of separation between you and this thing, and you disconnect from your higher self, right? From your true self every time you fear that lag time, every time you fear the unknown. And you're remembering that this thing has already uploaded for you. Yesterday I was getting a message in regards to my brother was uploading some kind of document, and I was telling him it was already uploaded. He's just going to witness how it came to be, because he was stressing in that lag time, the illusion of that lag time. And that's almost like what the human is going through, and you're able to observe that and hold space for that within yourself. But you realize that fear does not belong to you. That fear is something that originates from the soul contracts based upon, you know, earth. But you are able to become that outsider that's kind of looking within and acknowledging that and holding space for those polarities, and you're loving yourself into that change. And the other message that was coming through was an hourglass, and I saw courage on a perfume. They were right next to each other. So I feel like the last few grains of sand are in the hourglass when it comes to you actually taking action upon something, and where your fear has maybe been holding you back. And it's not your fear, it's the fear that you had incarnated into to inherit through, you know, a bloodline that this that this physical vessel originates from, right? And has been designed, and I'm hearing you have been well equipped to actually begin to transcend those limitations, transcend the illusion of fear, right? When it comes to taking action on certain things. And with perfume and courage, your life shrinks or expands according to your courage, and there is no longer this shrinkage or this contraction where your physical vessel has basically being paralyzed from taking action upon certain things in the physical realm. So maybe this is like a distrust, right? Wounds within the feminine through ancestral bloodlines, and being able to actually heal that feminine wound, where you can cultivate this strong self-trust for the information, for the downloads that you're receiving, and actually being able to support that through your actions and align your actions accordingly. And that allows you to create very freely in this realm. You're not creating based upon being perceived or how you're going to be perceived, but you're beginning to create for creation's sake as you come back into that state where you're no longer just a passive observer of your reality, but instead you're an active co-creator of it. So there's two different, you know, distinct timelines, and I'm also hearing like the sequence of events that await each one. And one requires you to make friends with the unknown, right? And that is where your full potential lies on the other side of. And there's also a timeline in which is very familiar to you, but there is no more room to grow there. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at what you're kind of being guided to move towards. And yeah, let's see. Let's just go ahead and take a read on this energy. I'm going to do a quicker read with this one. Let's take a look at an Cosmo Oracle message first of all. So again, Earth has a lot of soul contracts that originated based upon dualistic natures where there was an illusion of separation. So this is for the purpose of reunification. So it's almost like you're coming back into that. Maybe there was like a dissonance between what it is that you wanted and what it is that you actually took action upon, but your actions are now acting accordingly with the things that you want innately, right, on a soul level. So that's allowing you to actually begin to have a different kind of mastery over matter and begin to feel empowered by the illusion of separation. Let's go ahead and see. Cell. So again, cell, you have the nucleus of a cell as well, which is the center. And this is you being composed of many different elemental factors, and this is like your multidimensionality here. So you're able to hold space for the fear, but also realize that it does not belong to you and there is only an illusion of that, right? So let's go ahead and read cell for you. It's actually a really positive card, but it's almost like on a cellular level you could be attracted, because we have attraction here at the base, towards new things. All right, you could be attracted to doing certain things. On a soul level as well, I feel like you guys are attracted to doing certain things, and those things are very much in alignment with your initial intentions before incarnating into this physical vessel, and it's like you're coming back into alignment with that. So this talks about the key to success, the fundamental anatomical unit of all living organisms. Okay, so this is controlling what comes in and what comes out, what you allow to enter into your aura. Okay, so what is important cannot be seen, but they are still working for us in the simplicity and humility. So there's a lot that's happening in realms in which the human cannot see, right? The human can only see 1% of the light spectrum. But as you begin to look at life through the eyes of the soul, right? As you begin to look at your life through the eyes of your higher self, which is encoded within you, it's just an octave, you begin to look at life very, very differently, you know? And this is about the truth can always be found within you. This is what sets you free. And the truth is that there is only an illusion of fear. And that's the energy that's coming through here. Okay, for sure. So very, very strong energy. It's almost like you're controlling what comes in and out. You're controlling what beliefs are yours or not. What it is that you want to hold on to at this stage in your life. And where operating under certain belief systems can lead to you blocking yourself from that success on a soul level, because again, this talks about you being the key towards your success, and there is something new that is calling you, something that also you feel called to move towards. So let's go ahead and see what this is. Let's take a look at Gateway of the Light Oracle. We have Halls of Amenti, initiation, initiations treasured, uncovered, secrets revealed. All right, so again, the Halls of Amenti, very, very powerful energy. We have Stellar Gateway activation here as well. So this is a manifestation vortex. Let's go ahead and read this, Halls of Amenti. So this is like a memory of all that has already came to be for you. But you're watching something unfold. It's like you're watching the unfoldment of this. Okay, so Halls of Amenti talks about you're in a deep initiatory chamber at this time. You may feel that things are heavy and challenging, but know that a reconfiguration is happening. Again, reality is beginning to reconfigure itself to correspond with this internal knowing and this internal truth, right, that you've come back to. And this has happened from you going within, right? Okay, anyway, energetically, you are going through an initiation that will allow you to go beyond the fears of the ego, transcend the limitations of the physical realm, right? Again, this is of the physical realm. You might not feel that light is present because you're in the middle of this phase at the moment, but know that there is a presence within you, all right? And a present within you. You might feel feelings of being frustrated or overwhelmed, but a lot of this anxiety is actually old energies that was stored in the depths of your body being released so that your vibration can rise. So there's a lot that's coming to the surface in regards to fear, and I'm hearing it's not even yours. This is about things that have been suppressed or repressed ancestrally that are now being expanded and opened, and they're coming to the surface. So there's almost like a purge process that you're going through, and it's realizing that the key to your freedom, right, and the key to your success lies in you actually being able to face your fear, right, and realize that fear is false evidence that is appearing real, and it is something that is based off of survival. And you're able to move through this life with love. You're able to move with your desire, realizing that it's already yours, and there is only an illusion of separation between you and this thing, right? There's only a separation of this lag time that we have here on earth, but this is something that has already manifested. It has already came to be. So it's a very, very interesting energy. It's like you're moving into a high octave, and there are old energies that are being flushed out, that have been reinforced generationally. So it's almost like your biggest flex, if you will, again, is like looking in the mirror and seeing how in 5 minutes or 5 years you've transmuted 500 years of generational, you know, trauma or energy that has been reinforced. And you're reinforcing a new system, you're choosing a new cause, which is having a new effect, not just on yourself and your life, but also future generations to come, and also the generations that have come before that are continuing to exist through you. So it's almost like your eyes are, I'm hearing a window. You know how they say eyes are the window of the soul? Your eyes are a window for your ancestors to look through, and you were incarnated at the perfect time, right? You were equipped actually to begin to inherit ancestral traumas and wounds and suppression, to be able to transcend that, to be able to alchemize that, and to be able to convert that energy to further accelerate along your path. That was going to become your biggest catalyst for growth. That was going to become your biggest opportunity to leave a mark that would forever change your historical timeline. And you're forging a new path where you're pulling forward your ancestors into a high octave where they can begin to ascend through your own ascension. That's what's happening. You're doing it not just for yourself, but those who have come before, right? And for those who would come after. So I'm seeing like you literally, your eyes are a window for your soul, right? Our eyes for the souls that have come before you, that you also composed of, right? You consist of the cells, of the cells, of the cells, of the cells. And there's something about internally, there's a reason why you feel attracted towards this. And it's because it's a lot of your pre-soul intentions to begin to actually move towards this thing, and we have attraction in DNA here at the base as well, which shows that as you begin to heal these generational wounds, you actually pull forward and recover generational strengths, because attraction and DNA talks about demonstrable gifts that will be coming to the light from those who have come before you but had not acted upon them. So this is definitely gifts that you are going to be putting forward as you begin to step forward with courage. You leave, I'm hearing, a lasting impression on not just yourself, but so many more in which you cannot see. And that's why with Cell, the things that you cannot see are the things that are most important. So yeah, you have a legacy, and it's accessing these mass amounts of information that's stored within your DNA, right? Stored within your memory, and remembering why you're being called forth to do certain things, why you're being called to choose a new cause, which will have a new effect. Angel of balance. You were here to balance the imbalances, right? You're here to balance out the imbalances within your genetic makeup, where there has been a suppression in, I'm hearing, self-trust, which is also self-mastery in this realm. So in order to master this realm, you have to begin to have this different kind of self-trust when it comes to this intercommunication, when it comes to actually acting upon your intuitive hits and not suppressing that or talking yourself out of it. So that's a very, very interesting energy. And we have patience. The two of these energies are like the temperance energy, right? The temperance energy basically talks about diving into new waters, right? Feeling out new waters, stepping into new territory, and being patient with yourself upon that process, right? The fear that may surface, and realizing that it is surfacing for you to acknowledge it, for you to accept it. And in that acceptance that it's there, the energy begins to neutralize, and you can begin to step forward, emerging as choosing the power of love over the love of power, right? That fear loves. And then we have the thinker. So everything is exactly as it seems right now. This says that things are balancing out in your reality in terms of your efforts, right? And your calculated goals that you've set for yourself are all unfolding exactly as they seem. It is a time where you're going to be able to spring forth and flourish, okay? And birth a new you there. We have peace there at the base too. Let's take a look at a shaman's dream oracle message too. Yeah, we have repairing the veil, forgiveness. So yeah, this is a very, very powerful energy. Forgiveness will set you free. Forgiveness is also, a lot of you are forgiving yourself, okay? And also those who have come before that were not able to. Wow. Because when the human condition lifts, we see and have to account for the result that is our life, the product that is our life of our own creations, even if that's unconsciously, in regards to where fear had held us back. And there's something around you being able to forgive your ancestors, right? By actually beginning to forgive yourself. And that river of compassion begins to wash away feelings of guilt or shame or misery, right? Or things that have been holding you back, or fear, and where fear has held you back, and those who have come before. And it's a very, very powerful energy again, right? It talks about repairing the veil, right? And what happens behind the veil, which is super beautiful. And it's almost like you're not just tying up loose ends, but you're actually tying this beautiful ribbon on it, right? So it's almost like you're able to really make peace with the past, maybe making peace with the result that was your life, and actually being able to account for the trauma that can surface as a result of decisions that you made before you were able to come into this energy of self-love, right? The decisions that you had made based off of unconscious times. And with Feast of Plenty, it's like you're no longer choosing the things that leave you feeling hungry for more. You know, Feast of Plenty talks about one warning, which is to avoid choosing something that has once brought you comfort, okay, and choosing that again for the simple fact that it once did, because now you're operating and navigating this world as a completely different version, which means that you are now applying your free will consciously, and that's opening up very specific timelines that you want to begin to experience. Your selection of timelines becomes available for you once you become conscious of what actually serves you, what decisions are actually going to be healing for you moving forward, instead of being able to engage with parasitic timelines. You're stepping into more abundant timelines because you're realizing what serves a purpose moving forward versus what has served a purpose and may no longer. Even functioning under certain belief systems, right? You can see where functioning under certain belief systems has led to no real change, right? It's been almost like a repetitive cycle of some kind. And you're opening up this point of divergence where you're choosing something different right now. You're shaking up the algorithm within your life. And that allows you to enter into a new vibrational frequency, a new dimension where new stories can begin to play out in your life. And you're about to witness the unfoldment of those new stories playing out in your life. Let's go ahead and take a look at the theme. Ace of Cups, right? Decisions based off of self-love. This could be a creative opportunity or a new beginning that's just going to be super emotionally fulfilling for yourself. But again, this is about decisions based off of self-love that you're making during this time, all right? Let's take a look at the Ace of Cups. We also have the Five of Cups and the King of Cups. So you have entered into a state where there is a huge paradigm shift because you're no longer seeking external acceptance to begin to do this, right? To be able to move a certain way or align your actions a certain way, for that compromises your integrity in the process. If you need a witness to how far it is that you've come, become your own. Okay, this is where your internal state is now governing the things that you do externally. You're feeling empowered by the things that you do, not feeling overpowered and allowing external factors of how you're going to be perceived doing certain things to govern your internal state. Okay, so yeah, it's super interesting. Five of Cups energy, you're being redirected and realigned right now in ways that you cannot possibly see right now. But the cup is half full. Six of Cups here, 2 at the base, Sun and Scorpio, something's being shined for you. There's almost a light here on the past, right? New things that you're going to be uncovering from the past, even ancestral memories, ancestral gifts, that you're going to be able to move forward into a new chapter and actually put them to use in a way that had never really been fully embodied, had only been previously suppressed. So I'm gonna love any of you guys right there. If you're not already subscribed to this channel on Instagram for future reads, do consider subscribing. We'd love to have you around. Personal reading details also down below. If you want to join our Discord server, the link is also down below as well. If you guys want some beautiful high quality jewelry for all of your manifestation needs, check out Altar Spirits discount code as well. That's down below. I'm wearing this beautiful set today, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Until next time, bye.